An activist, an organizer in her own right. Her name is Miss Andrea Guajardo. Please welcome her, bring her up. Here she is.
Thank you, Mike. So we're going to hear a lot today. We've already heard a lot about history and heritage, right? Yes. Talk a little bit about the truth of history. I'll tell you what, Texas is third behind Mississippi and Georgia in the number of documented lynchings in this state. Many of them occurred decades after this monument was erected. That's the real history. We talk about history. We see our indigenous brothers and sisters here today, respecting our indigenous culture. San Antonio's soul was built on the oppression of those people. Thank you. And we hear a lot about, let's leave this monument up because if you don't remember your history, you are doomed to repeat it. Not true. Because guess what? We're still repeating the history that is associated with the oppression that this monument represents. This city is more than 70% people of color, and more than 60% of those people live below the federal poverty guideline. It's not right. How did they get that way? We don't have Jim Crow anymore, but we have the Texas legislature trying to tell us which bathrooms people can use.
Come on, talk about it.
We don't have a poll tax anymore, but we're still fighting against voter ID laws that disenfranchise people of color. We don't have separate but equal, but we have 18 different school districts in this city.
Speak on it.
And they are, guess what? Drawn along racial and ethnic color lines. So don't tell me that we're doomed to repeat history. We never stopped it. So, it's highlighted. You can read all the reports. When you live in a zip code in the north of this city, you could live to be up to 75, 80 years old. You live in the south part of the city, below Hildebrand, below 90, you're lucky if you make it to 50. There is a 20-year discrepancy in life expectancy just based on where you live. And where you live is based on discrimination and oppression in this city. So, what I'm telling you today is that, yes, I'm an activist. I work in healthcare. That's my area of expertise. And I see our wonderful folks from Move here. Drew, where are you? Registering voters. Your voices are loud here today. You are being heard. But guess where your voice is louder? Your voice is loud in a boardroom. Your voice is loud in a college. Your voice is loud in a business where you can bring the perspective of people of color to the table. Invade those spaces. I don't know if these people over here are racist. Most of them, yeah. Most of them are. I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna say maybe one or two of them are blinded by this history and heritage stuff. But guess what? The individual racist does not need to exist in order for institutional racism to pervade and persist. So my request to you, my direction to you, my imploration is to invade those systems. Invade higher education. Invade government. Work for your councilman. Get on a commission. Serve your community. Because every one of us, when we have a voice at the table, we can change the conversation.
Bexar County Commissioners here, Tommy Calvert Jr. Before I hand over the mic, I just want to let you know, so I am what San Antonio would consider an outsider, right? And are you really? So there it is. This is our first time, though, the movement has brought us together. And I've admired his work from afar. When I talk about a fighter for social justice, he came under the tutelage of his father, Tommy Calvert Sr., who has marched for social justice here in San Antonio, and they've been stalwart. They've been unwavering. So I just want to say that today. I appreciate you being out here today. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our Bexar County Commissioner, Tommy Calvert Jr.
Thank y'all. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Thank you for standing up for our union. Together, we will fight racism. We will fight oppression. And thank you. You know, a lot of people talk about make America great again? How about make America read again? And what we need to start with is the Texas Declaration of Succession into the Confederacy. That document talked about the fact that they seceded from our union because they wanted to have a state made for the white race. That the white race was superior to every other race. But we stand together, united, black, white, brown, gay, straight, of every color, Native American, to say, this is our country. We're united. We're together. We love each other. We don't want to hurt each other. We want everybody to prosper. This is our America. And we're not going back. Too many died too young. Too many bled too profusely. This country tore itself apart over the institution of slavery. I'm one of the few people in this world who has battled chattel slavery, like the kind we have had in America. In Sudan, I traveled to help free victims of slavery. The same kind of vestiges that we suffer from, they're still suffering from today, and we're still suffering from. The institution of slavery is an ugly, terrible, most horrific thing you can do to a person, save murder. But they want to honor and glorify and lift up slavery and the Confederacy. We're not going back there. We're not going back there. And we don't need to teach our kids to honor that. That is dishonorable to enslave someone. So I'm proud Bexar County, we led the way. We took the Confederate symbols off the courthouse steps. And yes, we did. And when we took those Confederate symbols off the courthouse steps, we donated them to the Institute of Texan Cultures. And what I said was I only want them displayed next to the articles of succession into the Confederacy so people could read the document, learn, and teach us never to go back there. I'd like to have a big blown up picture of that. Really would. Right here would be fine with me. But we're going to be so glad when this remnant of the past is replaced with a sculpture that's about unity, about our future. We're a delicate tapestry in America. We see that with what's going on right now in Virginia, in Charlotte, with the rally that happened there. And when we put this kind of hate speech in the world, God pray for us. We've got to pray for our country right now. We've got to pray for peace. We've got to pray for coming together. We've got to pray to end the scapegoating of our brown brothers and our black brothers and our gay brothers and our Native American brothers, all those women. We have to make sure that we don't allow someone to pimp out hate in the name of a political philosophy, in the name of something that's going to make the lives better. We're not better because we don't allow people to reach their potential and have freedom and justice. We're better because we unlock the potential of everybody in America to live in freedom and justice. So thank each of you for being patriots today, for standing together to make this country live its true creed. You are the light that so many people around the world look to America for. America is looked at around the world from people who are struggling under oppression. And you are making sure that America remains that light. We still have a long way to go. We know that. But it's only when we stand up and remind each other that the sacrifices of our ancestors to have us live together, prosper together, will never be forgotten, and we will always work to that end. So thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for continuing the struggle. We're with you every step of the way. God bless
you. Hey, once again, show Mr. Tommy Calvert Jr. some love. Say we love you, Tommy. There it is. His father in the back there, Tommy Calvert Sr. Let's just show him our just due. Give a round of applause for him. An activist and organizer for neighborhoods, First Alliance. We appreciate them being out here today. Chicana woman, so welcome her to the platform.
Hey y'all, so this was interesting. I'm really proud that all of you are here and you're here on the right side of history. We can ignore the people across the way because they're gonna get sunburned and leave in about an hour. So we're all right. Yeah, we're all right. Okay, so with that said, I just want to overview what this statue means and what's going on in the city. So this statue has pretty much enough votes to come down already. So we're just here to show that we are in solidarity with any marginalized people in the past, the present, and in the future. Hopefully we can work to bring that number, those people down, so our children don't have to suffer the way so many of us and our ancestors have suffered. So just to give you some history on this Confederate statue or whatever it is, basically what the Confederacy fought for was to uphold the economic institution of chattel slavery. People say, well, they're fighting for heritage, not hate. Well, yeah, when you put black people through genocide, millions and millions of Africans through genocide, and then you want to say, oh, we're flying our flag, but because we like the flag. It's an ugly, tacky flag, for one. But for two, I mean, why are we gonna allow these people to stand for this at all? So like Mike said, I do a lot of anti-blackness work in San Antonio. So this message is for my non-black Latinos. Y'all, reach your families, reach your friends, reach the person at HEB. Anti-blackness is sustained by non-black people of color, not just white folks. Although, you know, we say, you know about that. I'm not gonna go into that. But I just wanna say, do that, please, y'all. Do that work. People say, I can't do anything in this Trump administration. I'm stuck. I feel like it's just me against it all. It's not. Look at all these people next to you. Get their numbers, get their names, have dinner with them, make coalitions, come to these events, tell people to come to these events. And again, work on your anti-blackness every day. Work on your anti-indigenous sentiments every day. Anti-indigenous people everywhere are still being murdered and slaughtered and used in imperialism for fodder. It's enough. It's enough. It's been enough. So please, use your voice. You have power. I want to thank everybody for being here. You know, I love Antifa. Thank you for the work you do. I know it's hard. The crazy thing, I just want to give y'all context, y'all. My dad is a cop. He just retired. I have cops in my family. So for me to come out here and have this conversation, it's hard for me, honestly. It's very hard for me. But I believe in doing the right thing, and I think we need to take down these systems of oppression of all people, our trans brothers, sisters, non-binary folks, everybody, y'all. We need to come together and do this. I had a statement from Diego Bernal, if I can read that really quickly. So he's our state rep. Thank you, please. Sorry, it's on my phone. Okay. Hot.
Diego.
Yes, Diego Bernal, state rep 123. So this is our area. Okay, let me get it. He put it in a message. Let me get in the shade so I can read it. So he said, I believe we can acknowledge history without sacrificing the future, and you can acknowledge history without celebrating it. No one is trying to erase the past because you can't. But we are off because we are better off because the Confederacy lost. Can we get a cheer for that? Yeah. Thank you. Justice prevailed in that situation. Our city is a celebration of that fact. It is a testament to that fact. For those reasons, the center of our downtown, the heart of our city, should look ahead. Whatever value keeping the statue in the park provides, I don't believe there is much, is far outweighed by what we gain by removing it. It would be a statement about who we are and where we are going. It would represent our evolution and our commitment to one another, each and every one of us. We cannot in good conscience allow another child to walk into this park under the shadow of someone who did not believe that it should belong to every child equally. Someone who fought to keep that child and other children away and apart from one another. Exactly. Parents should not have to share that conversation here in our public park. Do you agree? Can I get a clap if you agree with me? Yes. He says, it's time to move on, it's time to grow, and it's time to build. He supports the efforts of Councilman Shaw from District 2 and Councilman Trevino of District 1, who initially put in the motion to take this ugly ass thing down. So there might be a question of when, and there might be a question of how, but there is no question of why. And so that's all Diego had to say, and I want to thank you for allowing me to speak. If you want to continue a conversation with me, please come up to me. I would love to talk to you about anything and everything. So be blessed and take care of one another. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mario Salas, and I'm here with the protesters. I'm representing the SNCC Legacy Project, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, and I was a member of the Black Panther Party at one time. And so we're here to support the removing this racist statue here in Travis Park. As you can see on the other side of the park, the Nazis are lined up over there. Some of them have open carry weapons. The police are here in strong presence to prevent them from hurting anybody. But we're not intimidated, we're not afraid. We're here to ask the City Council to remove that statue. It's a public disgrace. It represents racism and slavery, and so we want that statue removed. There's nothing good you can say about that statue. The statue represents all of the people who voluntarily fought to maintain the system of slavery. They were fighting for the plantation owners, and those who weren't doing that were either forced into the Confederate Army or didn't know any better and were brainwashed into accepting the rules and the laws of white supremacy. We know of a lot of white soldiers who refused to fight for the Confederacy, and many of them fought in Mississippi against Robert E. Lee. So we're not here to be racist against anybody. We're here, both black, white, and brown community together, coming together to oppose the racism that this statue represents. So we're asking City Council to please remove it, and we're not talking about destroying it. We're talking about moving it to a museum where we can tell our side of the story, as opposed to this constant story being told and put in our face in a public park, which is a disgrace to the city of San Antonio. So the City Council is considering our request to remove it, and we're looking forward to the day comes when they remove it to a museum or an other appropriate place where the real stories can be told about this racist statue. Anyone who reads the Articles of Confederation of the Texas Confederated States, if you read the 1861, 1862 articles, you will see that they left the United States in order to establish a slave and protect a slave system, and also to maintain the institution of white supremacy. So there is no doubt whatsoever that this statue is a racist statue and represents racism. So we're here to demand that it be taken down. We will not be intimidated by any weapons they have over there. That will not move us one bit, and we're going to continue this struggle until this statue is gone.